Hey guys, this is Carson Tech here, and this is going to be the first video on this channel, but we're going to be showing, just like the title says, installing Linux in a virtual machine. Now when I bring up the word Linux, you're going to probably freak out thinking that this video is going to be very complicated, because the word Linux probably brings up thoughts in your head that means, you know, typing in code, working with JavaScript or command line stuff, no GUI. Well, this one, what I'm installing, will have a GUI and everything. So, first of all, what we need is a virtual machine software. What is a virtual machine? You're basically what's in the title really, name of it really tells you. You're emulating hardware, but you're emulating a computer with your own hardware. So depending on the speed of your computer, it'll change the speed of the emulated computer. Now I'm using VMware Workstation 15 player because it's the free version of this. Now we're going to be installing Ubuntu 20.04 desktop. So absolute first thing you do, you download VMware Workstation 15 player, or any other virtual machine software will work. But in this video, all the steps that you see will work with VMware Workstation 15 player. So first, we're going to create a new virtual machine. Now we're going to browse. I'm going to go to desktop. Yeah, I'm going to click on this. Now we see Ubuntu 16 desktop 04 detected. Next, we can put our full name here, but I'm gonna just put Carson Tech here. Username, I'll put CT for Carson Tech. Password, CT. I'll do CT for that too. Oh, you entered in values and wait, so that's lowercase CT then. There we go. Hard disk size. Recommended, we'll stick with the 20 gigabytes here. 44 gigs should be good for this demonstration. But you would probably want something. You probably want to expand the storage or expand the RAM, depending on if you're going to use this for. So we're going to hit finish. And it'll build everything for you. And there it's done. And we're gonna full screen this here. Yeah, so you want to say yes to this. You can see it's doing a thing in the background, but you want to download and install VMware Tools. Now, VMware Tools, the machine can communicate with your audio driver, your keyboard, your mouse, and all that stuff. So it'll install the software in the virtual machine that will help communicate with the stuff on the out here, and on your host is what they call it, your host computer. So here, it's just checking disks to make sure it all checks out to work with Linux. You can see it says return to computer, press Alt Enter, but there's a keyboard shortcut here. If you do Control Alt Enter. I thought it was that. Oh. So first thing you do is to toggle full screen, you want to hit Control Alt. Now what that does is that tabs your mouse out of the virtual machine. And then you can do Control Alt Enter. And now you're full screen. You can see VMware first network activity going to my server, I guess, for some reason. Probably because it sees Linux on the my server over there. You can see now it's small right now because there's no drivers. Okay, that was kind of loud, but it's loading the setup here. Now, what's cool about this is that if you run it with VMware, it'll automatically run the setup for you. So if you click the drop down here, see this is the command line kind of stuff, but it's in a GUI. So it's basically running those commands for you. So probably going to do a speed up here while it installs. I think we're coming up to the end point. Here we got the little nice meshes reticulating splines. Yep, there we go. Generation complete. And the computer, the quote computer has just restarted. This is now the virtual machine doing its work, booting up the computer. This is Linux. Now you will see text information. Do not be scared by this. This is completely normal. Now you see there, installing OpenVM tools. Now this was not how it used to be back in the day of Linux on VMware, where you would have to type in a command to retrieve a file and like a script, and then it'll install it or whatever. Now it looks like it's integrated, so that means that we don't have to run any scripts. Well, I'm going to say that, and then we're going to have to run something, but this is not a Linux tutorial. It's just how to install Linux on a virtual machine, not how to use Linux. So that's okay. Now here's another thing that's cool about this is that up here you can see hard disk activity, but you can see they're flashing. That means like every time it flashes, that's the virtual hard disk that is reading. So if you have a computer that has a hard disk light or whatever that flashes, that means that the hard drive is being read to. That's just basically the same thing, but for the virtual hard drive. That's pretty neat. Okay, here we go. This is the login screen. So we're gonna click our user, and then we made it CT. And you see now it is now full screen. There we go. Connect to online accounts. We're not going to be doing this right now, but here we go. Live patch. Canonical live patch. Sure. Let me set this up, I guess. Oh. Alright, there we won't do that. Oh, okay. So you can see this is the interface here. Like you can get Discord, you can get OBS, you can get VLC and all that stuff. Here. So here you can well, we're here. So this is kind of like, so this is your genome is what this interface is called. It's called genome. And it runs on top of the Ubuntu Linux whatever operating system. So here you have like your apps. You can click, I believe you can click the Windows key. Yes, if you click the Windows key, it does the same exact thing. You have your multiple desktops here. And then you can then you have your App Store, Ubuntu software. Now, it'll probably run slower because it is a virtual machine. So it's emulating the software, and it's basically running two operating systems at once on your same hardware. That's basically what it's doing. So it's going to be a little bit slower. Alright, software catalog is being downloaded. Alright, we'll let that do its thing. You have your Files app. And it looks like we already have updates. Okay. Now you have the little Files app here. Apparently it detects a floppy disk? Oh, because there was a floppy disk on here. Okay. Downloads, documents, desktop, home. All that. So basically this is it. You can go ahead and minimize this and it'll adapt to the resolution. It should anyway. Yep, there it goes. It just adapted to it. So you can make a custom resolution. You can make it this small if you wanted to. If you wanted to. But you can make it like a funky resolution here. Like if you want it like that, it'll work, kinda. Or you can make it that tiny or whatever, however you guys want it. You can. VMware Tools is what allows this to happen. Now I'm pretty sure I can use Unity here. Linux S, okay. But what Unity is that, let's say you're running Windows XP or whatever in a virtual machine, it'll minimize this and you'll get like a little thing here and you can run Windows XP applications just like it's running on Windows 10. So that's pretty neat. Well, yeah, that's about it. What we can do now is we can shut it down. Well, we can either shut it down from here or shut it down from here. So go to power off and yeah, power off, and we'll click power off. Now you'll probably again see some code on the screen. Removable devices, that's okay. And here, and it's done. So that's just a simple tutorial how to install Linux and all that on a virtual machine. So yeah, see you guys.